In this video, we're going to review the TTESS rubric in more depth. So here you can see we're looking at the instruction domain, dimension 2.4 differentiation. So we want to break down and look at what are the differences between the different levels, going from improvement needed all the way to distinguished. As you can see right here, anything in improvement needed, the rubric is going to describe more teacher-centered actions, things that the teacher is doing, but not necessarily impacting the students. As we move along the rubric, you'll see a continuum that starts to support more student-centered actions, actions that are very student-centered, driven by the class, and very clearly driven by the students. So let's go through each of these, starting with the proficient qualifier. The teacher in proficient, here it says adapts lessons to address individual needs of all students. So they're adapting the lesson, changing it so that every kid in the room has their needs met. When we go down a level and look, it says adapts lessons to address some student needs. So maybe you've got a group in your class who's a little lower performing than the rest of the group, and we've designed something to fit their needs. Or I've got a GT group and theirs lesson is slightly different, but I'm not really differentiating for every student. I've got a particular group that may be addressed, but I'm not really embedding any kind of differentiation for all the students in the room. And then here on the improvement needed side, it says provides a one-size-fits-all lesson without any meaningful differentiation. So what that might look like is I'm up at the front of the room and I'm providing notes and the students are copying the notes from the board. That's very teacher-centered. That's one size fits all. There's no difference between one student or the other. They're all getting the same cookie cutter lesson. When we look at proficient, let's go to the other side of the rubric. Accomplished adapts lesson to address the individual needs of all students. We can see that actually is the same as proficient. So the differences between proficient and accomplished are then going to be in the descriptors below. And then when we see a distinguished teacher in this dimension, adapts lesson with a wide variety of instructional strategies to address individual needs of all students. So I could see a lot of different things going on. The teacher has a plethora of tools in her toolbox that she pulls out and uses, and you can see students have a lot of choice. They have a lot of differentiation, and the teacher is able to manage and handle those very well, and it's very clear that it was planned for all students. When we go to the next descriptor, it says regularly monitors the quality of student performance and participation. So I would see a teacher walking around, they're checking on the students, they're got a regular system for checking on students' performance and their participation. So in developing, I would sometimes see them monitoring. So maybe I'm distracted by something and I'm not really paying attention, that all my class, or I have to set reminders. Maybe I don't have a real system for going to check on performance, or I just say, okay, the timer's set, guys, you got till the end of class. Once that timer goes off, and then I'm at my desk doing something different. So I'm not regularly monitoring unless a student approaches. And then rarely monitors would be, I'm not really checking on the kids. That is completely initiated by them. They have to come get me in order to review their participation. I don't have any kind of system for checking on their progress. In the accomplished area, we're regularly monitoring the quality. Again, these are the same as in the proficient. And then here, consistently monitors the quality of student participation and performance. You might say, okay, so the difference there is the word regularly versus consistently. So regularly, I might, every 5 minutes, I walk the room and I check on my groups, and then I go and I am working on something else, which is good. That, again, proficient means rock solid. That's good. That's what we'd like to see in class. Consistently monitoring would be a lot more interacting with the students. I'm facilitating. There is a whole lot of monitoring, and maybe even I have some students doing self-monitoring, and they're bringing that to me and doing their reflection, so I can see there's constant monitoring of participation and performance for my students in the class. So just within those two samples, you can see the difference between going from improvement needed, where I'm not really up and interacting with the students in the room. I've got a very cookie cutter lesson, all the way across over to where I've got a wide variety of differentiation and instructional strategies going on in my classroom. And I'm consistently interacting with the students and judging their performance and participation and giving feedback to them on a regular basis to make sure that they're continually improving. When you go through each rubric and start with proficient and then drill down and drill up, you'll start to notice, okay, where do I fit? What can I do? And when I get feedback from an appraiser and they say that maybe I'm over here, they sometimes saw me monitoring the quality, then what systems, structures, training, and development can I do or use that will help me to improve and move up among the levels and improve the quality of instruction in my classroom? If you have any questions about these rubrics or would like to go in more detail with other domains and dimensions, please see your appraiser. Thank you.